Good morning, everybody. Silas back today. We're going to be working on the farm again today, but I had to come out here to the yard and unload these old Chevy trucks. I was not expecting today to be a Chevrolet day, but it is. This one here is probably the nicest of the lot. They actually came from two different people. Those two there came from one guy. I didn't even know he was coming. And then this one, and that pickup over there came from another guy. The guy that brought these has a crusher, and he crushes a lot of stuff. But if they're nicer ones like these, he brings them to me and sells them. And if they're kind of rusty and junk, he's a long ways away, so what he does is he just cuts the noses off of them, sometimes the doors, crushes the rest of them, and just brings me that. But this one here wasn't a bad truck at all. Has a little bit of damage to the body, but not too bad. You can see it's got a dent up here in the roof, but you know, a couple punches on the inside, and most of that would pop out. But there's almost no rust in this truck. It's pretty solid inside, pretty clean in there. You can see all the dash is still in it. The floors are still solid. It's solid up above the windshield. No rust in the doors. So I know it's a big truck, and so a lot of people don't like these wheel well openings, but the guys that are putting them on big chassis with big tires don't mind. So this will make somebody a nice truck right here. This is one I won't cut up, more than likely anyway. Probably pull the cab and front clip all together off of this one and sell it that way. But maybe somebody will just want the cab off of it for a pickup, because those cabs are the same for the big trucks and pickups. You just have to make one hole in the floor to put the emergency brake in for the pickups. If that's the case, then we'll knock the nose off later. But for now, we're going to keep it all together. And then this one here is actually a pretty solid cab and front clip as well. The patina on this one doesn't look nearly as good, and the hood's a little bit messed up. But, you know, inside the truck, not quite as clean. But once again, there is no rust up in here. It's all still solid up in the floors. So I think this one here, once again, is another very buildable one. Now this one's debatable as to whether I sell the cab and front clip together, just because the patina isn't nearly as nice. This one here is more than likely one that somebody's going to take the cab off of it and put that on a pickup and repaint it a different color. There's a lot of traffic out today. I'm on a different mic today, trying something new, so I don't know if it's picking up all these cars or not, but it's a busy day. Oh, got some wire on it. I don't know why it's wired. The door latches. There we go. I wanted to see what this tag was. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's off the bed that was on it. Giant Manufacturing Company. That's got a really good patina on it. That kind of that bluish color with the white letters. That's pretty cool there. I'm just going to go ahead and grab that out of here now so it doesn't sit down here and keep rusting. But yeah, the bottom of the doors are good, so definitely a very nice cab on this truck here. It does have a little bit of bubble rust around the seam of the cab, but it's not all the way through. It's just starting. So if a guy gets on it now, sands it all down, it'll be fine. This one here, oh, that door doesn't open. It's really not in too bad a condition. It does have a little bit of rust down in the kick panels where the fenders bolt on, but not bad. The floors are solid. It's got a couple bullet holes in the door. Cab corners are solid on it though. Does have a little bit of rust around this seam once again, and it's actually rusted through in a couple spots, but not terrible. It's all very fixable. All this up in here is still good. This front clip on this one here is pretty straight. So I don't know, well, it's got some damage there. Once again, this is a very buildable cab. I won't cut this cab up, but I guess it does have a little bit of rust. But you know, this is better than this is probably a top 20% cab in my opinion. A lot of these things I have out back are just rotted everywhere. And a lot of times they're all smashed in here from the doors opening too far, and they got rust up above the windshield and stuff like that. Whereas this one here, everything that's rusty on this one is very easily patchable. And so this is one here that I'll probably save the cab and then cut the nose. Same thing with that one over there. But like I say, for now, I'll probably just pull all the sheet metal off in one piece, keep it together, and we can always cut it apart later. Then next up, we got this, what is this? It's got a painted grill, so this might be a 45, because I know they put painted grills in 45. 46 was a chrome grill. First half of 47 was the same body style, but once again had a chrome grill. 41 had a, let's see here, what was the, oh yeah, 41 had a pop metal trim ring around this back window, which that's the worst spot of this truck, is right there where something snagged it at some point in time. But this truck really has a good looking patina on it. Very minimal rust. This is one that I'll keep the sheet metal all together. Even with that back window damage, somebody will still buy this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a 45 here. Usually these trucks rust out in the bottom of the doors real bad, and then along the bottom of the cab, which this one has a little bit of rust down there, but not bad at all. That's just a very minor thing. Really, this is the only bad spot of this cab. I couldn't get the doors open, but just looking in here, looks like a tiny bit of rust up above the windshield. I've seen way worse. And looks like floors are all pretty solid. A lot of the floor in these was wood though, so that's one reason why they didn't rust out too bad. But the seats in it, it's all there. So yeah, this is definitely, I'm 99% sure somebody will buy this cab and front clip. And then last but not least, we have this one right here. This is a, what is this, a 3600? Yeah, 3600. What year is this truck? It's gonna be a 49, I think. 50, no, somewhere in there. Where's the gas tank? Yeah, gas tank's in the cab, so it's 48 to 49 to maybe a 50. Was it 50 or 51 where they started putting the wing window in them? I can't remember. Every year from late 47 to early 55, they change something about these trucks. Every year is different, and actually a lot of them are half year where they would change middle of the year. But it's somewhere in that range, and this is a pretty solid truck. And we'll go check this engine, probably another 216. I was hoping at least one of them had a 235 or 261 in it. So far, no luck. Nope, another 216. Oh, this got a big horn on it. That almost looks like a Ford or something like that. One thing this thing does have though that's a good piece is this oil breather right here. Has the vent in it. That's about a $200-300 setup right there for that piece, the air breather, and then all these lines right here. And I just dropped the radiator cap somewhere. Oh well, doesn't matter. But yeah, for this whole setup right here, that's a chunk of money. So that's a nice bonus. I never count on buying stuff like that when I price these trucks. I always just count on basically art value and scrap value. That's what I price them at. And if they end up being better to where there's something I can sell, then that's a great bonus. Now stuff like the pickup, I did pay extra for it just because I know I can sell it. And then this truck here, because it's so nice, I paid a little extra for it. Plus this guy brings me a boatload of trucks, so I always pay him a little bit extra just because he brings me some pretty nice stuff sometimes. And so while on some of them, like this 45 over here, I won't make much on that one. Others, like that 73 LTD he brought me a while back, I made pretty good money on it. So it works out in the end. But Sean is here now, so I got to get all this stuff off my trailer. This is all stuff we got at the farm cleanup the last time we were there. If you didn't watch that video, we went in the barn, got this four-wheeler, that brand new John Deere generator with 9 hours on it. We got this anvil over here. This is an old Peter Wright anvil. We got this swage block, and we got a bunch of iron racks and tables and whatnot. There's a bunch of welder extension cords in here. There's some antiques in here. There's a forge in here. There's a bunch of just cool stuff we got out of that barn. So you definitely want to check out that video. But I've got to get all this unloaded, get all the good stuff put in the building, and I've got to dig a truck out in there. I've got to move these in the yard, and then I want to get back out to the farm and at least get one load today. Hopefully two if I have time, but honestly at this point probably just one. So Sean and I were looking these vehicles over just now, and a lot of stuff I didn't even notice beforehand. But this truck here, it does have a 216 under the hood, but it's got a 6-blade fan on it. And that's probably about a $400 fan, I'm guessing, roughly. I don't know, maybe a little bit more than that. It's pretty nice condition. I know those things are high dollar. I've sold rusty ones for 300 bucks before. But yeah, for now, I'm just gonna set this truck aside. I've got a bunch of stuff. I got a truck bed trailer there in front of me. You can see it a little bit. We've got to pull that bed off of that. I have that sold. The guy's coming to get that next month sometime. I'm glad I found a home for this bed here. I was worried. I bought this at an auction. I think I paid $3 1/4 for it, something like that. And I was worried I paid too much for it because it wasn't really selling. But a guy ended up buying it, and all he wanted was the bed, so I can sell the bed, make a little bit on it, and then I could sell the rear end, make a little bit more on that later. And here's the truck I got to get out. I forget what year this thing is. 56, I think, 57, somewhere around there. And it looks like it's in gear. Somebody must have been messing around with it. Oh, there it goes. It just sunk in the dirt. I was gonna say, who in the world would put it in gear for no reason? I sold the front half of this truck. Kind of a shame, it runs and drives. But the guy saw it on one of my videos and he said he just wants it for parts. And so he says, cut it in half, cut the frame. So what we'll have to do on this thing is we'll have to pull the bed off of it first, just for safety so we don't smack the cab. And then we'll put brackets underneath it or sawhorses or something on under the frame, and then we'll cut it, and that way it doesn't drop down and smash it. And then this truck here, I sold this cabin clip, man, probably 3 years ago. And I talked to the guy here, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I said, man, you need to come get this thing. And he said, okay, so we're gonna get this one cut off as well. Both this one and the brown one that was beside it, I parked both of these trucks right where they're sitting. I drove them and parked them right there. It's kind of a shame to be cutting both of them up, like I say, but yeah, what do you do? Got to go where the money's at. But yeah, this is a pretty cleaned out area now. All those trucks that I just bought, I want to stick all of those back in this spot because I think all of those will sell pretty quickly, and so I don't want to bury them clear out back. This truck here isn't nearly as heavy as the brown one. This one has a steel frame bed, but it's a wood floor. That other one was solid steel with a really thick steel floor, and so there was no way I was going to try to carry it over the top of all these cars. It was just too dangerous, too risky. But this one here, like I say, not a big deal. Both of these are V8 trucks. I think they're both 283s. We put pallets underneath this one to make it easier to sit down level, and now they're kind of fighting me. That might have been a bad idea. See if I can pick it up a little bit further forward or something, I don't know. They are not cooperating at all. Yeah, that was probably a bad idea. I may have to go get the strap and the board back out to get this one, unless this will get her. Nope. And I don't know why we did that, because it's kind of a rusty piece of junk. It's not really worth putting on pallets. The cab's a piece of junk. But I did sell the nose off of this one. I have a guy bought, I think 9 or 10 noses. I forget, I'll have to double check how many, but this is one of the ones he wanted. There we go. I'll just get it off of those pallets. It's a good thing I'm halfway talented with a loader, because some of these things I get into a little bit of a challenge. If I can just drag it backwards now, get it away from those pallets, we'll be golden. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. Like I say, I'm not worried about tearing this cab up. It's kind of rusty and crusty. It could probably be built, but man, I've got so many better ones right now that not a reason really to hang on to this one. Let's see what happens. Starting to pop loose. There it went. Yeah, there we go. Must be tail heavy. No problem. I hope there's some wiring or something on it. There we are. He's not coming to pick this up for a month or two, so I guess I'll stick it back here out of the way. Right here will be a good spot for it. Just like that.
Are you kidding me? Is that a 9/16 on there?
Something. Or no, it might just be covered in grease. There it goes. There's not much juice coming out of it. I don't know if this rear end's worth saving or not, but I guess we'll find out. Whew.
No ring gear.
No ring gear.
That's why they took it apart.
Yep. Yep.
That did no good for the lubrication of the bearings anyway, because nothing slings the oil besides.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Set that on the ground. We're going back the other way.
Yeah. There we go. That one's ready for the crusher.
How many about 4 bolts?
Okay, back to moving these trucks in again. This one here is the one that had the vent tube on it. I was showing you guys and talking about how it was unusual to see that on a 216. That's because this is not a 216. Got to looking at it and I said, I think that's a 235. And they just switched out the valve cover. And then I got to looking a little bit closer and it's actually a 261. So that's a definite bonus for sure. Still turns good, so I'm sure it'll run good. And it's also the early 261 that's got the side mounts if you want them. That way you can put it in the old cars. Most cars either got a 216 or a 235. And so if you want to put a 261 in a car without doing some major modification, you need one of these like in this truck here, because you can just put motor mounts on the side of the block and it'll bolt right in. So if we can get this engine to run and it's got good compression, this would be a pretty good money maker. Now you always run the risk it may have a dead cylinder or two in it, and that'll drop the value down a lot, but we can always hope. We're not going to mess with starting it today though. What we're doing for now anyway is we're just pulling the remnants of the beds off of both of these trucks. That way they're a little bit cleaner, more presentable. That way if somebody wants to buy the whole thing, they're ready to go, and we can always pull the sheet metal off of them later. And another Chevy just came in. This is the same guy that brought me the first two, the ones that were more complete. He had told me he had this, but he wasn't going to bring it till Friday, but he got back home and he had a few minutes to spare, so he called me and said, hey, can I just go ahead and bring this truck now? And I said, yeah, you bet. Super nice guy. I told him a price on this truck, and he said, oh, that's too much. He said, I wasn't expecting to get that much. Give me $100 less than what you offered. I said, are you sure? And he said, yeah, you've been more than fair. So I said, okay, well, I appreciate it. I owe you one. Every now and then I post something on Facebook he wants, so if I have something small in the future that he needs, I'll probably just give it to him. Or at the very least, I'll give him a $100 discount on something in the future. There we go. Take this bed off of here. I keep all of these flatbeds like this. They make good fence panels if you need them for emergency fence panels for out back, or they make good platforms to set stuff on. And there's all sorts of uses for them, and they don't take up much room once you have them off like this. I mean, I can stack these things up 5 to 10 high, no problem. They don't weigh a whole lot, so they're not worth a whole lot for scrap anyway. And then the hoists, I've never really found a value in these hoists, and so I usually just scrap those. See if I can get it off of here without damaging the cab. I slid the whole thing backwards. I think I can get it off here, no problem. Just gotta slide it a little bit. Yeah, just like that. Bingo. Now I can't really see what I'm doing on the camera too good, but what I'm doing is I'm sliding the forks in between the frame and the hoist. I get one fork in there, I can kind of tip it up. It's sliding too easy. They usually put up more of a fight than this. This in here is just sliding right off of there. Slicker than snot. There we go. Bingo. Just like that. Now what I'll do is I'll take a couple quick pictures of this truck sitting out in the open like this, and then after that I'll go set it back in the trees where I just took all those other trucks out of. Okay, let's get this thing off of here. There we go, no problem. This is a good storage bed, or if I want to throw this on my trailer and take it out to a cleanup job or something like that to throw stuff in it that I'm bringing home. Lots of good uses for a bed like this. This four-wheeler, she said her husband had trouble with it a number of years back and couldn't quite figure it out, and it's been sitting in the shed ever since. And so I didn't really want to scrap it, so I figured I'll take it out here. I think I have it sold already. If he doesn't take it, I think it'll sell pretty quick. It's got brand new tires on it all the way around, 2008 model. So for now, I'm just gonna stick it in this barn over here. It rolls pretty easy, so I can move it around if I have to later. Right now, the sandblast guy still has just odds and ends racks and equipment in here. Nothing too whoopy, but he's working on getting it cleaned out. Once he gets it cleaned out, I'm gonna start stashing all of my engines and stuff like that inside of this building. That way they're out of the weather. It is cut, ready to go. He's supposed to be here next Monday to pick it up. We'll get it out of here. And welcome back. It's actually the end of the next day now. This morning I got 80 pallets of bolts and steel and stuff from a factory, and so that kept me busy all morning getting that unloaded and organized. Then I had to help my dad haul a bunch of cars. His leg was bothering him a little bit today, so I didn't make it out to the farm today. Tomorrow I'm going to be working on those bolts, processing them, getting them out of the crates and into dumpsters, things like that. But then the next day we're going to head back out to the farm. Really the only reason I even got on right now is because I've got that old antique, I think it's a Dodge bus out back, that really beat up one. The guy's coming to get that tomorrow, so I thought that would make some somewhat interesting content to stick into the video. I also sold the Cyclone GT. That's going to be headed out on Saturday, and the same guy that bought this is buying the, what was the other Mercury I bought out there? I can't remember now. Oh, that's right, the Montego MX. He's coming to grab this one, but then he'll be back either in a week or two for the Montego. He didn't want this one at first, and nobody did because somebody took the VIN tag off at the dash. They have another VIN number on the door, but this one's all faded, and so nobody wanted it because there's no VIN number. But the guy that's actually buying it says, well, did nobody ask about the one under the fender well? And I said, no, nobody mentioned that. And so I crawled under there yesterday, and well, you can't really see it on here, but anyway, we got it out and Sure enough, there's a little tag over here that has the VIN number on it. It's all clean, so he said, yeah, I'll buy it. I can't believe nobody else mentioned that. And then also the brown truck that we cut in half, they're coming to pick it up Saturday morning as well. So I'll put all that stuff probably at the end of the video. There we go, loaded up and headed out. Now I got to get back to the yard. I think my dumpster's there for those bolts. Oh, I'll tell you what, crazy day. Made pretty good progress. I've got a guy helping me again out here at the yard. He's been unloading all these bolts for me while I've been processing cars, pulling converters, batteries, draining fluids, stuff like that. The only thing I'm not pulling right now is the aluminum wheels, just because I don't have a dumpster to put them in and I don't want to have to move them twice, and I'm not crushing and shipping crushed cars right now anyway. So I've just been stacking them. We'll pull the wheels off and crush them later. But anyway, a couple hours ago, my dad calls me and says, hey, can you come to such and such place? He says, I need your help. So I get there, and all 10 studs on the rear driver's side of the rollback snapped off. He wasn't loaded. He hasn't hauled anything heavy, nothing like that. Just nothing, just driving down the road, and all of a sudden they just all snapped. We just got new tires on that here a few weeks ago, so I don't know if they over torqued it or if it's just a coincidence or what the deal is. But anyway, the one outside dual took off down the road about 2 blocks before it finally hit a curb and bounced up in somebody's front yard. Didn't hit anybody's cars or nothing like that. No accidents, nothing like that. But my dad's leg, it's a lot better, but he's still not able to go 2 blocks down the road and wheel a great big heavy wheel and tire back. So that's what I did. I went and got that for him. We had a tow truck come haul the rollback in, so I guess we're done hauling cars for a little while. But my guy got a lot of stuff put in here. There's roughly 10 tons, roughly 20,000 pounds in here right now. I wrote down the weights over here somewhere. I don't remember where it was at now. Oh, right here, yeah, 17,000 and 4,000. So yeah, 21, 22,000, so almost 11 tons. That's a lot of bolts. We'll probably go up to about 30,000 pounds in here. That's about 15 tons. That's a good number. That way they're not overloaded, but yet they've got plenty of weight. They're in these crates, so what we did was we put some of these pieces together, and this is our trash container here. We've got another one over yonder that was full of trash already. Then we saved the pallets. We'll use those for stacking batteries. And then of course we saved all this plywood off the top. I was going to send it to landfill, but I have a guy needs to put a new roof on his chicken coop. And so he says, I'll make do with that. I said, come grab it. It's yours. Here's another one here. We're putting nothing but cardboard in this one here for when we stack batteries, because you have to put cardboard between each layer of batteries. But yeah, all those are still full of bolts, and over there, all those are full of bolts. And then way over there, the ones I've been working on a little bit here and there, those are all still full of bolts as well. So I'm thinking there's going to be about 3 dumpsters altogether full of bolts. Ripped out a couple engines with the excavator even. I haven't started it in a while, so I wanted to make sure it fired up good. And it did. It fired right up, ripped a couple engines out. Makes it easier to get to those manifold converters. But I am done here. Tomorrow morning, I will see you guys back out at the farm. There's something pretty cool out there in the barn that we're going to work on digging out. Plus, we're going to try to get everything done in the barn. That way I can give them the key back to it. And then everything that'll be left is just all in one spot to where it's pretty easy for me to go out there and just load the dumpster as it's available. Headed out to Colorado, Cyclone GT. Cool car. And now the 56 Chevy is loaded up as well. Headed back to West Virginia. It's a pretty cool truck. He also bought passenger door, and what else did he buy? Can't remember. Oh, a fender off a 54 Chevy car. Pretty neat truck. This was a running, driving truck at one time. But obviously it no longer drives. Hard to drive without a rear end. He's buying it mainly for the sheet metal, and the engine's just a bonus. So easiest way to do it is just knock it right there. It's a whole lot easier to haul this back to West Virginia than a whole great big dump truck. And that was that. I got a bunch of other stuff done that day, and actually I recorded most of this video quite a long time ago. I lost this footage, and I was clearing off some SD cards, and I found it. One of my old SD cards from last year had gotten wedged down in the bottom of my backpack, and I just couldn't find it. And when I did find it, I was like, oh man, this is from the end of December. At first I was like, I guess I could just throw it away, but then there was some interesting stuff in it, and so I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead, edit it, put it on YouTube on the second channel. And actually, I still have all of those old trucks that I got at the beginning of the video. They're all still available except for the 3600. I sold that one, but I still have all the other cabs, front clips, complete trucks, all that stuff. But with that, I will let you all go. Stay tuned. There's lots of good stuff coming out. As always, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. And remember to get out there, find yourself an adventure. We'll see you on the next one. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, Hazel? Is it time for bed? Woo, you just hit my camera. No, don't lick my camera. Don't lick my camera. She says, well, don't hold it my face then. Ready to go to bed? I'm ready to go to bed. It's about midnight right now and I'm exhausted. It's been a long day. Yeah, life's so hard for you. Just hanging out at the house all day, eating food. I wish I could do that. Lucky dog. Come on, let's go.